Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to respond to a couple of the comments. The gentleman that was implying that illegal immigration benefited Democratic states is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. I live in Texas. I don't think anyone can state that there's a state out there that has more immigrants in it than the state of Texas, and it's very Republican. It's very red, and I also resent the hell out of the comment. I'm a duly elected member of Congress by citizens of my district, and to imply that Democrats are not elected by citizens of this country is outrageous and offensive, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Next, Mr. Chairman, recipients of humanitarian parole programs, they don't want to leave their countries. They're here because they are fleeing harm and persecution. And we are the United States of America. We're supposed to be a beacon of refuge, a place that says, give me your poor, you're tired, you're huddled masses. We're here. But we're neglecting these very words by virtue of this committee hearing and what's happening in this Congress. In May, the administration announced the termination of temporary protected status for our Afghan allies, the brave Afghans who put their lives on the line to support our U.S. troops. You give all this sanctimony about protecting our lines of enforcers of ICE, but what about the troops? What about the people who put their lives on the line in foreign countries, and we had to solicit assistance from brave people in this country who risked their lives to make sure that our troops were safe and that our mission could be handled. And we said to them, if you help us, we will be there for you, but not anymore. So now, the U.S. is home to over 200,000 Afghan allies. President of the nonprofit Afghan evac and military vet Sean Van Dever said, we made a promise to our Afghan allies, and fulfilling that promise is not just a policy. It's about integrity, it's about honor, and honoring the commitment. Thousands of troops are rallying behind our Afghan allies because they know the countless American lives there were saved because of them and their bravery. They bled and died for our country, and how are we repaying them? By sending them back with a death sentence. I find that to be morally outrageous. It is wrong. What is happening? What is happening? All you who've served bravely in our military, who love to parade pomp and circumstance about the role and honor of our U.S. military, and here we have citizens of another country who will be killed and executed because they helped our men and women who bravely serve. That is not the America that we all know we should be. And I think to the other point, you're complaining about ICE and masks. I think it's wrong that ICE agents are masking themselves, hiding themselves, not properly identifying themselves. And the question is not, do you not support the men who serve in law enforcement in this country, because we all do? But maybe you should be questioning the mission. Why is there so much pushback? Why is there so much outrage of how they're handling their mission? Why are we not questioning that? I think we are. That the way they're doing it, by running up on people, by coming and attacking people who are in this country legally. This country said, yes, you have temporary protected status. Yes, you can come here. You've come the right way. And now we're saying, within very short notice, get the hell out. That is not fair. That is not right. That's putting these people who come here to fulfill their American dream, the tired, the poor, the huddled masses, come here and you can be free. It's just so wrong. And I think what we're seeing here is an outrage by the American people. And it's the leadership of this administration that is sending these agents into dangerous, harmful activities that are causing such a public outcry. Mr. Beyer, I have a question. Can you please explain the consequences for the lives of these Afghans and what's going to happen to them when America breaks its promise to them and sends them back to be executed in Afghanistan for helping the United States of America?
Yeah, so about 70,000 Afghans were paroled into the United States. They came legally during the evacuation. I guess the opposition to that would be that we should have left them all there to be killed. I prefer that we did what we did. Some bad actors were part of that group. We identified those people, and that's appropriate. That's what vetting should do. But the vast majority of the people that we evacuated were people that we should be protecting, and we should allow them to stay here permanently with a permanent status. We shouldn't have a temporary protected status. We should allow them to stay permanently, and there's legislation to do that.
Right, because the
The
next...
gentlelady's time has expired. I now recognize Representative